You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Black and White Live fans, let's talk about the NBA. The NBA season is roughly, I would say, about 2 months in, and surprisingly, no NBA team has actually lost a game due to having too many players in COVID protocols. Now, last season, we know that actually happened quite a few times. They actually had to make up games, that kind of thing. But however, folks, times are changing now. We have our first cancellation of an NBA game because of COVID protocols. Check this out, guys. NBA postpones games involving fully vaccinated Bulls. Yes, the Chicago Bulls have a massive outbreak. Every single player has gotten a jab, but I believe they actually have 10 players in protocol. That is a lot of players. Let's read this, guys. Being 100% vaccinated has clearly meant little to the Chicago Bulls, who currently have 10 players in the NBA's health and safety protocols. The NBA has said additional staff members have also entered protocols. So in light of all of this, the NBA has postponed the Bulls' next 2 games, Tuesday, which is tomorrow, against the Detroit Pistons, and Thursday at the Toronto Raptors. They marked the first postponements of the 2021-22 season, 1 year after the league's abbreviated schedule was packed full of them. Players and staffers entering the protocols after returning a positive COVID-19 test. They either must wait 10 days or receive 2 negative tests in a 24-hour span to return. Now, I'm not saying that all of these are false positives or anything like that, but we know that LeBron James ended up in protocols and he pretty much had a false positive and he slammed the NBA for this. It seems like, the players and coaches, because we're going to be talking about a coach here, they're not too happy with these NBA COVID protocols, especially when nobody's sick. And LeBron James, he even said it himself, he felt fine. He wasn't sick at all, and he was very, very frustrated being put in protocol, and he was forced to miss a game. Now, this is interesting right here. Sam Amico tweets out, despite 97% vaccination rate, NBA has already at least equaled last year's total number of players, coaches entering COVID protocol. That's amazing right there, folks, considering, last season there was no vaccine. And Clay Travis tweets it out. Amazing how most sports media is ignoring this. Interesting. But check this out, guys. Erik Spoelstra. I was actually going to make a separate video on this right here. Erik Spoelstra has come out and he has slammed the NBA's COVID-19 protocols. Erik Spoelstra wants NBA to revisit COVID-19 protocols. This is what the article says here. It says, and it jumped on me here, adds, Miami Heat coach Erik Spoelstra questioned the NBA's COVID-19 protocols on Sunday, suggesting players that test positive but are fully vaccinated and asymptomatic should be treated the same as someone with the flu. Quote, has everybody gotten their shots and their boosters? Why would they be held out extensively longer than if they had the flu? Spoelstra said. Now, we know if a player actually does have the flu, and guess what, folks? The flu is a virus. The player doesn't have to miss any games. I mean, if you remember the Michael Jordan flu game in the playoffs, 1998, he played. Now, we come to find out it was actually a food poisoning, but it was said it was the flu. Players in all sports always play with the flu. They're not forced to miss any games. But when it comes to this, and when players get the flu, they're actually sick. They actually feel it. You do have a lot of players, that are asymptomatic because the NBA is constantly testing. And he's slamming that. Spoelstra, and this ad keeps jumping again. Spoelstra said the dangers have been minimized from last year because most NBA players have been vaccinated, had their boosters, And I believe like 60% of the players now actually have the boosters and undergone testing. He is concerned they could lose more players to protocols as the Heat prepare to embark on a 4-game road trip. On Saturday, the Heat won 118-92 over the shorthanded Bulls, who were missing 7 players because of COVID-19 protocols. And now you actually do have 10 players on the Bulls. So now the NBA has postponed their next 2 games. The NBA isn't slowing down on their testing. If I'm not mistaken, they really want to kind of ramp up on testing even more because this is the holiday season. Players, want to spend time with their families, travel, that kind of thing. But in the NBA, if you don't have the jab, they're not allowing you to go anywhere anyway at all. So the only players that can actually, travel for Christmas, Thanksgiving, or whatever is the players that actually got the jab. So, but what do you guys think of this? The NBA postponing 2 Chicago Bulls games because of a COVID outbreak, and every single player on the Bulls has gotten the jab, and some may even have the booster. Interesting, and that the NBA has surpassed more players now being in protocol than last year when there was no vaccines. Interesting, okay? Very, very interesting. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Live fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to Black and White Live, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.